Hello, welcome to Lost in Lucha's video explaining the Torneo Nacional de Parejas Increíbles Block A, which for the rest of this video I will simply be calling Incredible Pairs. If you don't know, Incredible Pairs is the most important annual tag team tournament in CMLL. This block will be contested over 7 single fall matches where you need to pin or submit both members of the other team to win. The Incredible Pairs name is referencing that all of the teams are Technico plus Rudo pairings, which for ease I listed in that order, all Technicos listed first, plus the Rudo they are teaming with. I also listed them from most likely to win the block to least likely. The winner here in 2 weeks will take on the winner of the following Friday's block. Here's the schedule for the tournament. First block on April 12th, second on April 19th, and the 2 out of 3 falls final on April 26th. I have to cover this seeding battle royale, which is why this bracket isn't filled out. CMLL, very often for their tournament events, will seed via a battle royale at the start of each block. For Incredible Pairs, this means that 8 men, 1 from each team, will be in the battle royale. The first 2 thrown out will have their teams meet in the first match of the first round. Then persons 3 and 4 will have their teams meet in the second match of the first round. Then persons 5 and 6 will have their teams meet in the third match of the first round, and the 2 survivors will have their team fight in the final first round of the block. So we're going to go over all the teams from most likely to win to least likely to win. Starting up first, we have Caristico and Mephisto. Caristico, of course, was both the original Mystico in CMLL and the original Sin Cara in WWE. Since coming back from WWE, he has had a slow start in CMLL. They were obviously a bit reluctant to push him since he left for WWE, and then when coming back to Mexico, he first went to AAA to be Mystices before finally coming back to CMLL. He was in the finals of this tournament in 2016, but lost to Mystico and Mephisto who will be his partner here. Caristico has had 2 major wins since coming back. CMLL's second most important tag tournament, Grand Alternative, in 2017, teaming with Soberano Jr., where they beat Sanson and Ultimo Guerrero. And then he also took the NWA World Historic Middleweight Championship from Ultimo Guerrero late last year. Mephisto, his partner, was the longest reigning champion in CMLL, holding the CMLL World Welterweight title for over 1,000 days, but that came to an end a few weeks back thanks to Dragon Lee taking the title from him. Mephisto's last major win was just mentioned and was the 2016 version of this tournament, where he won with Mystico. I have this team to make it to the finals because Mephisto could use a big win, and Caristico has yet to ever win this tournament since Caristico left shortly after it was introduced in 2010. Teton and Barbaro Cavernario. Teton has been the MVP title challenger for the Technico side of the roster for the last few years, but this hasn't translated to many big wins. Though he did win Reyes del Air, a minor Torneo Cybernetico, on a show that CMLL didn't put on YouTube earlier this year in 2019. Barbaro Cavernario was in the same boat as Teton, but the MVP Rudo challenger for Technico champions. That was until the fall of last year when he won Atlantis' Mexican National Light Heavyweight Championship in November. He also won CMLL 85th Anniversary Main Event with Roosh, shaving Matt Taven and Volador Jr., and he won Lane de Plata in the finals in late November, besting Phoenix. So he is on a roll, and that roll might keep him from winning this because Barbaro is already riding high from those 3 major wins. Probably doesn't need another win, but this is a very strong team to beat. Next we have Soberano Jr. and Sanson. Soberano Jr. and Sanson are perhaps the most intertwined team on this block. They were both in the La Copa Jr. 2017 finals, which Soberano Jr. won. Then later in the year, 2017, they were in Grand Alternative finals, as I mentioned earlier, Soberano with Caristico and Sanson with Ultimo Guerrero, and again Soberano Jr. and Caristico went over. Soberano Jr. currently holds the Mexican National Welterweight Championship, which he of course defended versus Sanson, including in Japan at Fantastica Mania. Sanson isn't without his big wins either though. In 2017, CMLL crowned the first ever King of the Underworld champion. It was a 4v4 elimination match, which came down to Sanson and Soberano Jr., with Sanson winning. The following year, in the 2018 Day of the Dead shows, Sanson defended this title successfully versus Templario. Sanson has also had a long reign with the Mexican Trios Championships, with brother Cuatrero and cousin Forastero, which just last night on Tuesday, Sanson and company successfully defended against Soberano Jr., Nibla Roja, and Angel de Oro. Angel de Oro and Bestia del Ring. Angel de Oro and Bestia share the distinction of being unmasked at CMLL's spring pay-per-view Homage to 2 Legends. Bestia at 2017's event by Diamante Azul, and Angel de Oro at 2018's Tu Cuatrero. Then at 2019's version of that event, on March 15th, Angel and his brother Nibla Roja won the main event to shave Ingobernables, Terrible, and Bestia del Ring. Bestia del Ring is the worst member of Ingobernables, basically in the stable because he is Rush's father, and it allows him to tag along and be included in big matches. Angel de Oro is great though, and does have a great contrast to Bestia. Angel will be running the ropes and diving, while Bestia will be the muscle if they get out of the first round. Next we have Guerrero Maya Jr. and Euphoria. Both underrated guys. Guerrero Maya Jr. saw most of his success so far in his career, teaming with Atlantis and Delta, holding the Mexican National Trios Championships, last holding those belts in 2015. So Guerrero Maya Jr. could really use this win, but at the same time CMLL has been so cool on him in the last few years that it seems unlikely. Euphoria is a team player, having won the CMLL World Trios Champions 3 times, currently holding it with the team he has always held it with, Los Guerreros Langoneros, Ultimo Guerrero and Gran Guerrero for this current run, though there have been different members holding that Trios Champion for Los Guerreros Langoneros for those 3 reigns. He also won this tournament with Atlantis in 2014 and won Grand Alternative, the second biggest tag tournament of the year, with Terrible in 2012. This team winning would make tons of sense since they are both decorated team players. Triton and Rey Bucanero. Triton is a mid-card talent currently holding the Coliseo tag titles, the secondary tag titles of CMLL, with Esfing. They won them in March of 2018. Titan, Triton, and Esfing are collaboratively known as La Excelentia Tapatía, which roughly means the excellent from Guadalajara, since Tapatía, Tapatio means from Guadalajara. Rey Bucanero's last major win was shaving Super Crazy for the mid-card Lucha de Apuestas match of CMLL 83rd anniversary. He has since had his head shaved by Nibla Roja last November. Bucanero was someone who used to be great, even called Tag Team of the Decade by Wrestling Observer newsletter for 2000 through 2009, with he and Ultimo Guerrero being one of the great teams in those years. He can still put on great performances, but has slid far down the cards since the 2000s. The next team on the docket, Flyer and Forastero. These guys both have the misfortune of being in their relative shadows. Flyer's only big win in CMLL since joining the company in 2014 was last year's Grand Alternative, which he won with his uncle Volador Jr., which of course saw both of them jumped by Rush and Terrible, only to be saved by L.A. Park. That led to the summer of L.A. Park vs. Rush, which Flyer was lucky enough to be included on sometimes, a big upgrade to Flyer's position as many people probably learned from him from that feud. Forastero, too, is overshadowed by his cousins Sanson and Cuatrero, who are brothers and both have had big breakout singles matches and singles titles. Even if Sanson's single title is only defended once a year, it's still something. Forastero is at least Mexican National Trios champions, with his cousins and their stable being NGD, Nuevo Generation Dinamites. They just successfully defended them last night at the Arena Mexico Tuesday night show. Blue Panther and Mascara Anno 2000. This has to be the least likely team to win. It's no offense to either of these legends, but neither needs a win, and their combined age is 119. Blue Panther is arguably the best luchador of all time. His last major win wasn't a win at all, but instead a draw with Negro Cassis in the main event of Homage to Two Legends in 2012. In the years since, Blue Panther has taken an enhancement talent / special attraction position on the card, and often tags with his sons Blue Panther Jr. and Black Panther. Likewise, Mascara Anno 2000's last big win was in 2010 when he won a hair vs. hair match with Parada Morgan. He was like Forastero of the original Dinamites faction, Hermanos Dinamites, the third brother of that faction. Still, Mascara Anno 2000 had many important Lucha de Apuestas matches, building his career on that, winning EMLL 55th Anniversary's main event, and losing his mask at Triple Mania 1 to Pero Aguayo Sr. So his career peak was probably the late 80s and early 90s, but he is still on again, off again, showing up in CMLL at 61 years old. This team would likely only win or go to the finals if both men had told CMLL that they were retiring this year, and CMLL wants to let the two get another big win as payback for the decade or so of being enhancement talent in the company. I don't really see that happening. Usually the finals are supposed to be a very good match, and no offense to these two guys, they both can go well, but it would probably work better if one of them had a younger partner. Those were all the teams in Block A of the Incredible Pairs tournament. Thanks for watching the video, and I apologize for any audio or video hiccups you may have noticed. This video is pretty time sensitive, so I didn't have as much time to re-record or edit the audio and video I included here. If this video does well, and even if it doesn't, I'll likely do another next week covering Block B, but without the explanation of what the tournament is. Thanks again for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share this video. The more people who view it, the better. This has been Lost in Your Ears, signing out.